Hello, everybody. It's me, Davey Z. I just want to talk a little bit about a little boy who's very special to me. My daughter is married to a great guy named Pat Sullivan. And when he married my daughter, he had a little boy named Shawn. Shawn Sullivan was about 3.5, close to 4 years old when I met him. And his dad's father, right about that time, started getting sick. Shawn's grandfather, Mike, who was a good friend of mine. And Mike ended up passing away. It was very sad, very sudden almost. He suffered a little bit and then he was gone. And Shawn lost his grandpa. And I felt so bad for the kid. I just love him so much. He's such a good little boy. And his grandpa on his deathbed, he wasn't quite on his deathbed yet. He was maybe a week in the hospital, and I went up to see him. And Mike grabbed my hand and he made me promise him that if he passes away, that I promise that I will take the responsibility as Shawn's grandfather. And that was an honor to me. Because Mike was a good guy. He rode a Harley Davidson. I knew him years ago when our sons played baseball together and football and everything. And Mike was a great guy. But for him to ask me that, it meant a lot. Now, I already had 7 of my own grandkids. Actually, take that back. I only had 5, I think, at the time. Yeah, we had 5 granddaughters at the time. We had Anna, Madison, Selena, Jazzy, and Bella. Jazzy, Bella, and Selena are from Missy's first marriages. And Shawn is from Pat's prior marriage or relationship. And when they came together, he came into our family, and the minute I saw him, I loved him. Before Mike passed away, I loved him. And I told him he could call me Grandpa Dave. I'm good with children. I'm a young grandfather. I'm 56 years old. I'll be 57 in June, and I've got 8 grandkids. The oldest is getting ready to turn 20. My wife and I, we always have our grandkids in our life somehow. They've accepted her, and she's accepted them, and it's a big, happy family. Even the ex-wife is involved. The ex-wife comes to our house for holidays and birthdays and things like that. She suffers from Huntington's disease, and we may not have got along when we were married, but we get along great now. And she and my wife, Shawn, are like best friends, which is awesome. Makes life easy for everybody. But getting back to the little guy, when Mike passed away, I was brokenhearted for this kid. And his grandpa asked me, like I said, if I would take on the responsibility. And no hesitation, yes, of course I will. Of course I will. And then, unfortunately, he passed away. So, since the beginning, number one, I've always made sure that my grandson, Shawn, never forgets his grandpa Mike. Because he was young when he passed away. And anybody under 4, 3 years old, sometimes they forget as time goes on. So, I got to remind him all the time, and he hasn't forgotten him. And I think partly because I remind him, and I'm pretty sure his dad does, and his grandma Marcia does, and Missy does, and I don't want him to forget the great man that he was. And he's always around him. And I tell him that. Papa Mike is always around you. Because I'm a big believer in that. I believe in the spirit world, and I believe Mike went to heaven, and he's always around, and he's Shawn's guardian angel. But Shawn, to me, has become just my buddy. I mean, I have 2 other grandsons that are biological. I love them with my whole heart. And I love all 3 of my grandsons. And I don't show favoritism to anybody. All my 8 grandkids, my wife and I have an individual relationship with each one of them. Selena's getting ready to turn 20 in May. Jazzy's going to be 18 in September. Bella's turning 16 in September. Madison is going to be 9 in April, and Anna will be 9 in September. Now, the little guys, their birthdays are September and February. They're getting ready to turn, one's already 3, and the other one's getting ready to turn 2, David and Marcus. So Shawn fits in between the boys and the girls in age, which works out very well. So he's our middle child. He's my middle grandchild. Marcus is the oldest, younger one. David is the baby. Selena's the oldest. Jazzy's Jazzy. Bella's Bella. The girls fall into the 2 little girls category. So we got 3 older girls, 2 middle girls, and 2 little guys, and a middle grandson. And I can just say that I love Shawn with all my heart. He is my buddy. He's my fishing buddy coming up. We haven't been able to go yet, but we're going. He's going to go flying with me when I fly my paramotor. And when he's ready and he's old enough, maybe he'll fly his own paramotor. Remember what I said, Shawn. This is to you from Papa. When you're old enough and your dad and mom say it's okay, we'll get you into paramotor and you can learn to fly them. Although there's kids your age that do it now. But I love this kid so much. He's become so much part of my life. I think about him every day. I think about all my grandkids every day, and he's right in the midst of it. He's special to me. He needed me, and his grandpa asked me to step up to the plate, and I would have done it even if Mike was still alive. I'd still be his grandpa. But Mike is always his grandpa. I'm grandpa number 2. I'm the proxy, but I love him like my own, and I know he loves me like his grandpa. And he loves his grandma Shawnee, and he loves his cousins. Shawn is a very smart kid. I know that he likes Pokemon. I know he likes Superman. I know that he likes Spider-Man. I know that he likes fishing. I know he loves YouTube because I know he's watching right now. Right, Shawn? I know you are, buddy. Shawn and I talked about this video a few days ago. So that's what we're doing. I'm making a video for my grandson. So people can see this is what my handsome grandson Shawn looks like. Look at him. Look at that kid. Lady killer or what? 9 years old. Look at that smile. Look at them eyes. Look at them muscles. What do you think, guys, out there in paramotor world? Kyle O. Even Dell, any of you guys, what do you think? You think the kid's got muscles? He can get ready to learn how to start kiting? I think so. That's my grandson, Shawn, and I love him with all my heart. And I mean that. He's become my daughter's stepson, but he's more like her own son. And his mom, Ashley, is wonderful. She's a nice girl. I get along with her. She appreciates what I do, and I appreciate what she does. And my wife, Shawn, just adores them. They got the same name, Shawn and Shawn. Grandma Shawnee and little Shawn. You know, it's unique. Excuse me, Shawn loves Shawn. They both love each other, grandma and grandson. And she knows. She knows that Shawn has Marsha. She knows her boundaries, but she's Grandma Shawn. And Marsha appreciates it all too. Marsha's a wonderful woman. She lives out in the country. It's Mike's widow, and she's just a great gal. She's done a wonderful job with her kids. They're all grown up and musicians and beautiful girls. And my son-in-law is a handsome guy with my daughter, and I love the death out of Pat. He's just, let me just say, I'm proud that he's my son-in-law. Proud. I have my 3 sons who I loved to the end of the world. I would lay down and die if it meant keeping them alive. Jimmy is 37. Dave's going to be 35. Matt just turned 32. And then Missy, of course, is 36. And this goes to all 4 of my kids. I would lay down and die to keep you alive. And the grandkids. If it meant for me to take my last breath to keep you guys alive, I would do that. That's how far my love goes for you, all of you. But getting back to Shawn. Shawn gets a 2 thumbs up, a fist bump, a hug, and a kiss on the forehead from his grandfather, Dave. I love you, buddy, and I want the whole entire world to know. Peace. I love you. Grandpa Z out.